What is up, guys, and welcome back to Rags to Riches 3, the series where we go from one of the worst teams in F1 2009, work way through all the Codemasters games, and try and get a drive for one of the best teams in F1 2017. We're here in the 2010 season. It is the German Grand Prix for round 11 of 2010. But before we get into today's episode, if you have missed any of the previous races, go catch up with the card annotation in the top right hand corner of your screens. There will also be a link down in the description, so go do that before you start today's race. And also, before we get into today's race, let's run you through the standing order. Currently sitting nice and comfortably in P6. However, that's not really that comfortable, because that means that we will be driving for Lotus next season in F1 2011. We need to get P4 if we want to get a drive for Williams. P2 will be a drive for Force India. 21 points, though, is the gap between Massa and myself. So there is still a bit of a distance, but it's not too bad. And there is still a chance that we could catch up to Felipe Massa and maybe get that 4th spot by the end of the season. We're just going to have to wait and see. But without any further ado, let's head over to the race weekend for the German Grand Prix. Here we go then, one-shot qualifying for the German Grand Prix, and we'll be looking for a good qualifying session here today, as we're already held up by Robert Kubica down towards this very tricky turn 1, already running it a little bit too wide. They're losing a bit of time upon exit, but hopefully we can make it up over the rest of the lap. We're just going to have to wait and see. I believe we actually have had good results in qualifying and races here at the German Grand Prix on F1 2010 in previous Rags to Riches seasons, so fingers crossed we can follow suit here today. Right, guys, please don't hold me up. Please don't hold me up. Come on, don't get in my way. Please, 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 please. Barrichello, get out of the way. Oh, that's probably lost me a bit of time, but hopefully not too much. Through this left-hander, I love that corner. I do actually really like that hairpin because it's nice and banked. It sort of helps you through the corner there. As the rain is now starting to come down, that may prove a little bit tricky on these final couple of corners, but down towards the line. Nevertheless, what is the lap time gonna be? Good enough for P7 at the moment. That is a really, really good lap here at the German Grand Prix. Question is, can we stay there? P7 at the German Grand Prix. What a result that is here today. Sort of making up for the disappointment that was the British Grand Prix. Very good qualifying session for myself. And we're very happy with that. P7 at the end of the day, inside the top 10. Not really a lot more that we could ask for. Of course, we are aiming for higher results in the race, but that just gives us a really good opportunity to sort of make some ground up in the race tomorrow. Of course, our lap was affected a little bit by rain as well, so we can take that into factor. And of course, that was my first lap around the circuit. So for a first lap around this German Grand Prix, I'm very happy with that. Very, very happy indeed. Mark Webber, though, he's in pole position ahead of his teammate Sebastian Vettel, 87,000 of a second behind, very close between those two. Then it's a McLaren second row lockout with Hamilton 3rd, Button 4th, Alonso's in 5th with Robert Kubica in 6th. And then it's myself in 7th with Felipe Massa, my rival at the moment, in P8. Vitaly Petrov is 9th with Adrian Sutil rounding out the top 10. Where was my teammate? He was down in P14, so Kamui Kobayashi, not a good qualifying session for him down in P14, but hopefully he can make it up and get some points here today. But the question is, what can we do from P7 on the grid? Let's find out as we head over to the race. It's race day here at the German Grand Prix. We've got a Red Bull front row lockout with Mark Webber in 1st and Sebastian Vettel 2nd. There's myself lining up P7 for today's German Grand Prix with Kamui Kobayashi in P14. It wasn't a good race for myself last time around at the British Grand Prix, but this time at my team's home Grand Prix, hopefully we can do a better job. Starting from P7, it's lights out, and away we go here at the German Grand Prix. Let's see what we can do down and towards turn 1. Going to take it nice and cautiously, try not to go into the side or the back of anybody, but a good start up into P6 already, and now going wheel to wheel with Jenson Button all the way down in towards turn 2. We've got the leaders having their own little battle up ahead of us, running it very wide through the exit of turn 2. Button's had a collision. What on earth did Jenson Button do? You can't say that I didn't give him room on the inside that corner. We gave him plenty of room down in towards turn 1. What's happened to JB? And did he just overextend the corner? Yeah. Jenson Button, mate. Come on, you can't just drive into the side of me like that. Completely Jenson Button's own fault, and that's going to put him way down the back of the field. Really helped me out, in fact, in the championship if he fails to score any points here today. P5 at the moment is very good, but of course we would like to do better. So let's see what we can do on Fernando Alonso. Maybe around the outside of the hairpin, or possibly go for the switchback maneuver on the Ferrari drive. We've got Vettel and Lewis Hamilton having their own little battle ahead of us. So here we go in towards the next couple of corners on Fernando Alonso. Can we find a way through? Round the outside once more. Round the outside now, Sebastian Vettel. Here we go. What a move that was. What an incredible double overtake on Vettel and Fernando Alonso to get the job done and move up onto the podium for this German Grand Prix. Not very good, though, through that fast right hand. I sort of let myself down, but now can we catch up to Lewis Hamilton and Mark Webber and maybe even challenge for the race victory here today. Pit stop time then here at the German Grand Prix as we enter the pit lane now from third position. Sebastian Vettel has already made his pit stop. We need to make sure we stop for the limiter line, which we have done there. So there we go. No pit lane speeding this time around. Webber's already been served. I think Lewis Hamilton carries on for one more lap. So he's gone in to the... Oh, I forgot to brake. Oh my god, I was not paying attention there. That's definitely going to cost me time here. Say, come on, please get out ahead of these other drivers. No! No, I've been held up. No, no, no. Come on, go. 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 What are we waiting for? Come on. Oh my god, 15 seconds. Wow. That was truly terrible. We've pretty much just given away a podium position here at the German Grand Prix. We're still going to push on, see what we can do. We've got Michael Schumacher just ahead of us. We know we're quick around here, so hopefully we can, of course, gain back those positions that we've lost. But getting up into P3 could be very difficult. Can we go for an overtake, though, on Michael Schumacher on a similar corner where we overtook Alonso and Vettel? Schumacher doesn't really give us a lot of room to go around the outside, but we force our own way through anyway. And there we go, moving up into P16 for the German Grand Prix, hunting down Vintantonio Liuzzi in today's race. Cutting the corner a little bit there, so that's not a good line. Definitely slowed me down running on the grass, though, so not too bothered about that. The question is, though, whereabouts are we going to come out after the pit stop phase? Right, so we've got drivers into the pits now then, I believe. Yes, a couple of drivers into the pits, but we're only going to get past one or two of them. So that is not good enough. Running a little bit wide on the exit of the corner, but we get the job done on the Toro Rosso. And that just goes to show how much that lost us. Running a little bit too deep in the pit stop cost us 15 seconds at the end of the day. And we are way down in P14. We're going to really have to fight if we want to come back in this race and get some really solid points here today. So this is going to be very difficult, but we've got Jaime Alguersuari, so Lucas Di Grassi, and I think that is Adrian Suttel, no, Liuzzi, having their own little battle ahead of us. We're going to go round the outside at the hairpin of Lucas Di Grassi, and there we go, job done on the Virgin driver. See what we can do on Liuzzi into the next couple of corners. Will he give us the room in towards this left-hander? Not really, but we go around the outside anyway. We get the job done, and we move up into P12. Up next is Rubens Barrichello. Or so much quicker than Rubens Barrichello through turn 1. And there we go, moving up into P11. Now trying to catch up to Kamui Kobayashi in today's race. My teammate is up next once again. It's a battle for 1 point at this German Grand Prix. Unfortunately, if I do take it, then I feel like it's going to be Kamui Kobayashi out the points. Although there are still drivers ahead of us yet to come into the pits. They're on that alternative strategy, going hard then soft. So Kamui Kobayashi still has a chance to get into the points here today. But at the moment, looking like I will be taking this position away from him. Here we go, though, down in towards this left-hander. Will he give us the room? We're going to go around the outside, possibly on my teammate. There we go. Nice maneuver on Kamui Kobayashi. That feels like a very popular overtaking spot for myself. We've moved up into P10. Let's see what else we can do. Oh, terrible line there for Vitaly Petrov. What on earth is he doing here at the German Grand Prix? He's pretty much handed all that time to me in today's race. I run it a little bit wide through there. I feel like another driver up ahead is being held up at the moment. It's a Red Bull, so I believe that's got to be Sebastian Vettel, the guy who came into the pits 1 lap early. He was right behind me coming into the pit stop phase, and now he's getting held up by a Lotus car. Vettel darts into the pit lane. I run it wide through the penultimate corner. Vettel into the pits. So I'm going to move up into P8 now. The back marker of the Lotus still yet to come into the pits at the moment. I'm going to try and get past Vitaly Petrov. Here we go on the right-hand side. There we go. Job done on Vitaly Petrov. Moving up a position for the time being. Can we hold on to it, though? Down towards turn 2. Yes. No, we can't. Oh, my God. The first time this season we've been done by the auto spin curbs. A little bit too much power. A little bit too much curb on the inside of turn 2. And unfortunately, that's lost us the position to my own teammate once again, dropping down into P10 now under pressure from Nico Hulkenberg. He's going for the overtake on the right-hand side. Can he make it stick? I don't think so. I feel like I'm going to be later on the brakes than the Williams driver. Yes, I am. There we go. Holding on to P10, but disaster for ourselves here with the German Grand Prix to be down in 10th position. Okay, then it looks like we've got a lot of drivers, and I mean a lot of drivers coming into pits at the moment. 3 drivers? Okay, maybe not a lot of drivers, but it's still good enough to put us into P7, as I've gone a little bit too deep there, down in towards turn 1. That's definitely lost me a lot of time. We've got 4 laps left to go of this race. There is still a lot of opportunities to catch up to my own teammate, and maybe even Vitaly Petrov as well. If we can do that, then we can get up into the top 5, and it will still be a pretty decent recovery drive here today, but we need to pile on the pressure and we need to see what we can do. No, I've done it again! Bollocks! Come on! When will I learn not to take these curbs? Oh my god, twice in one race! We haven't even done it once this entire season, and I've only gone and done it twice in one race. What on earth is going on with myself? Back around the outside though of Nico Rosberg. There we go, job done. Up into P9, Jaime Alguersuari, he's up next, and we'll be looking to get past him in the next couple of corners. But we need to make sure no more mistakes for the rest of this race, because I cannot afford to lose these positions. I'm going to dart it up the inside of Jaime Alguersuari, down in towards this banked hairpin. Alguersuari still on the right-hand side, still holding on to the position, but then he gives up finally. Good decision there for you, Jaime Alguersuari, because at the end of the day, I was probably going to come out on top, and you probably would have only lost yourself some time as Nico Hulkenberg comes into the pits, so I'm back up into P7, but still, that's a lot of time lost here today. Very, very disappointed with my performance of the German Grand Prix so far. How on earth is Heikki Kovalainen in P6? Like, can somebody please explain to me how he's made a pit stop and he's now in P6? Because I honestly have no answers to that. What on earth is going on? Oh, there's a yellow flag out. Kamui Kobayashi has had it. Oh my god, Kobayashi! What on earth are you doing, mate? Why are you stuck in the middle of the road? You let everybody else through, nice and fine, but when your teammate comes up, no, do you know what? Let's get in the way. Okay, maybe that's revenge for the battle that we had in Britain. I was very aggressive, a little bit harsh, but come on, man. What on earth are you doing? And in all honesty, I've actually helped him out, because I actually helped him out in facing the right way so that he can carry on with his own race. But Jesus Christ, man, what on earth are you doing? What an absolute mong. What is it with Japanese drivers and collisions in Germany? We had Nakajima last year. He seemed to be a bit of a rival of ours, a little bit of a nuisance. And now, my own teammate of Kamui Kobayashi decides to just park it in the middle of the track and let me just crash into the side of him. I mean, there wasn't really anywhere else I could have gone at that point. He was blocking the whole entire circuit. Oh my god, what on earth has happened there? I've just touched the curb and I've run it wide onto the gravel trap, and now that's allowed Nico Rosberg to go for the overtake, although he's gone very slow through turn 1. So I'm guessing you're giving that position back to me, Nico? I'm not too sure now, but he's gone up the inside down towards turn 2. We're going to give him room through the corner. Does he do a Jensen Button? No, he doesn't. He actually stays away from my car. But at the moment, P6 on the final lap now of this German Grand Prix. Unfortunately, it looks like Heikki Kovalainen is actually going to finish in P5. What an incredible result there for the Finnish driver. But Nico Rosberg giving me a good old battle at the moment in today's race. Going to avoid the curb on the inside through the hairpin, because, of course, we know what can happen through there. And Mark Webber, actually the race winner at the German Grand Prix. So well done there to Mark Webber. Wins here today. He started, I believe, in pole position. So well done to him. Unfortunately, I just wasn't quick enough to catch up to him at the end of the day. The championship leader extends his lead in this 2010 season. It's some good points on board, though, from my own perspective. You know, P6, not too bad at the end of the day. Gaining on P7. And if you take in consideration the 2 spins that we've had and also the collision with my own teammate, then it's actually a pretty decent race at the end of the day. But, you know, it could have been better. Without making that mistake in a pit stop, who knows what I could have done. I could have been maybe in the top 2, maybe even won the race. But we're going to come home for P6 at the German Grand Prix. A good result at the end of the day. Some good points on board, but it's just a case of what could have been. Ah, disappointing. not to get any higher up the field. I mean, P6 was sort of, you know, not exactly a great result. We could have done so much better, especially with Heikki Kovalainen in P5. Like, honestly, how on earth has that happened? How on earth has Heikki Kovalainen got P5 and Timo Glock's in P9? I really do not know what happened, but Mark Webber, he's the race winner here today. Lewis Hamilton in second with Fernando Alonso third. I feel like I probably would have slotted in between Hamilton and Alonso had I not made that mistake in the pit stop phase, because I wouldn't have been held up by other drivers coming through the pit lane, and I definitely would have lost those extra, I think it was like 10 seconds at the end of the day from making that one mistake. So that one mistake really cost us the German Grand Prix. Vitaly Petrov, he finished in 4th with Heikki Kovalainen in 5th. I still can't believe it. What on earth has happened here today for Heikki Kovalainen to finish in the top 5. There's myself in P6, 2 spins, a mistake in the pit lane, and we still come home for P6. That's a solid result, but it could have been better. Nico Rosberg finishes in 7th with Jaime Alguersuari 8th, Timo Glock 9th, and a really good day for Lotus as Jarno Trulli takes home P10 and gets the final championship point. Not a good day for Massa, who finishes in 11th. Got Jenson Button in 13th after that crash into the side of me. Sebastian Vettel down in P17 after making those 2 pit stops, with Kubica 20th, Michael Schumacher 21st, Liuzzi in 23rd, and Kobayashi way down in 24th. What happened to him? He was right behind me on the final lap, I could have sworn, unless he took too much damage right to the end. But I could have sworn he was right behind me, so I do not know whether he got a penalty or something happened again on the final lap to Kamui Kobayashi. But he is unfortunately right down the back of the field. Drivers' Championship then, 6th place still in the Drivers' Championship after 11 rounds of this season. We've got 8 races left to go, and we're still we're 4 points now, sorry, off of Jenson Button. Closing up the gap a little bit to Felipe Massa. The gap between the two of us is now 17 points, I believe. Yes, 17 points to Felipe Massa. So, if we know, it's only 13. My bad, 13 points. Sorry, 13 points now is the gap to Felipe Massa. So, it is closing up, and there is still every chance that we can get a Williams seat for next season. But we need some good race results in the next couple of races. Lewis Hamilton is now 2nd in the Drivers' Championship, overtaking Sebastian Vettel. I feel like catching up to Mark Webber is going to be a huge ask, because it's going to be very difficult. Yeah, definitely going to be very difficult to catch up to Mark Webber. 178 points at the moment. He is nearly a whole 100 points ahead of us at this stage of this season. But Constructors' Championship, unfortunately, BMW Sauber moving below both Renault and Mercedes. So it's still very close between the 3 teams, but we do need to sort of, you know, get some good results. It was a great opportunity for us to move above both Mercedes and Renault here today, making quite a lot of mistakes. We need to make sure that that does not happen again. But that is it for the German Grand Prix. Let's head back to the menus. No interviews once again after the German Grand Prix. I'm quite surprised by that, because the mistakes that we made here today, I would have thought there would be a lot of interviews after today's race. But no, that's not the case. So let's just have a look at the standings once more before we end the episode. P6 in the standings, 4 points away from Jenson Button and 13 points away from that crucial P4 in the Drivers' Championship. Can we get there by the end of the season? Let's just wait and see. But that is it for the German Grand Prix. If you have enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel as well if you are new around here. For daily Formula 1 content, we've got Rags to Riches free, F1 2017 career mode, and more F1 content coming to you guys by about the 2nd week of February. And as always, don't forget to leave your comments in the section below. I want to know what you guys thought about today's race. Of course, 2 spins and that controversial collision with Jenson Button. And not to forget as well, the pit stop mistake that I made. So I would like to see what your opinions are on those guys. Of course, there's going to be quite a bit of slagging off in the comment section. I deserve it. It was not a good race from me here today, and I definitely could have got a podium at the German Grand Prix, so I'm disappointed in myself. But I'll see you guys next time at the Hungarian Grand Prix. But until then, it's goodbye from me.